So I do some things about feminism and I talk about it some. And recently I saw a post on Tumblr, which I will link in the description. Well, yeah, I'll link that, but the post, uh, I will also link to what I'm about to discuss, which is what I replied to, but it's another post, which is on my blog. And the post was titled Breaking Down the Bullshit, but this post was taking apart this post that I had seen on Tumblr and cutting it down to size and pointing out what was wrong with it. And basically what it said was, well, the first portion of it said, most men don't rape, but most men do perpetuate, defend, and participate in these machinations of male supremacy without which rape would be rare if it existed at all. And I said, so you're saying that all men think that it's okay for rape, basically. You're telling me that every man condones rape in its most simple form, that every man wants to have power over a woman. It isn't true. Blatantly, that's not true. Not just because there are homosexuals, but because there are men who actually like to be the submissive in a relationship with a woman, and they actually like being taken care of by a woman. So, there are dominant women and submissive women. There are dominant men and submissive men. And that has nothing to do with rape. And in general, basically this post goes on to say things like, I'm basically going to pull apart what it says and say what I said, and just because I feel like there's a need to reiterate this, and there's a need for me to say it in such a way that it's literally taken literally. Most men don't rape, yet they see to it that the multi-billion-dollar-a-year pornography industry flourishes, that the sexual objectification of women remains ubiquitous, that rape is trivialized, romanticized, promoted through movies, TV, music, hate radio, news, media, academia, and the publishing houses. They see to it that men who rape have little to fear, while women who harm or kill rapists are sent to prison or insane asylums. Well, here's the thing. If you kill someone, regardless if they're a rapist or not, you can be sent to prison. Okay, so that's just, you're sent to prison. So that's. Also, the $1 million porn industry. Let's just put it this way. Men are a part of the porn industry. There is porn including only men. Women enjoy pornography too. And there are women out there who enjoy pornography where men are being abused. In the sense that, and what I said in my reply to this was, my reply to all the above is basically that no, men don't watch porn because they like rape. Because they don't. They watch porn because it has a naked woman who is most times willingly taking part in the sexual act she's performing, whether or not it's violent or not, whether or not it's a rape-like scenario. Because it's true. And like I said, women buy into pornography as well, because there are women who are in it, and because there are women who use it for the same purpose that men do. Also, I said, a woman who kills a rapist should not be thrown into an asylum unless she is also insane. I did not comment on the prison thing, because when I read it a little fast, and I missed the comment about prison. It says prison or an insane asylum, which in my opinion, prison, if you killed somebody, go to prison. If you killed somebody who was a rapist, go to prison. Especially if they were your rapist and raped you. Because, that's, in my opinion, that is the only justifiable action to somebody who's, been raped and comes in contact again with the person who raped them. Kill them. They should not be put into an insane asylum unless they are also insane. Because if she's insane enough that she's going around killing random people as well, or harming herself, then, yes, she belongs in an insane asylum. And about the thing where men have little to fear when they rape someone, I said, while it seems that men who rape have little to fear, but how much do women who rape have to fear when they rape a man when no one believes the man, or says that he can't be raped because he's a man? Or if he says he's been raped, people call him a bitch. They mock his suffering. And they do victim blaming to women, but they also do that to men because it's not so much victim blaming and saying that, well, that guy shouldn't have got drunk, that guy shouldn't have been hanging around a bunch of sluts, that guy shouldn't have. It's not things like that. It's things like, why did he allow a woman to conquer him? Why didn't he use his brute strength on her and beat the crap out of her? Which I think that if a woman is threatening you in a physical sense, guys, you have the right to use your strength against her because she's using hers against you in a way that you do not want. And you are allowed to stop that physically, if need be. So, don't let somebody do something to you that you have the power to stop, basically. And the next part of it is most men don't rape, yet historically they have denied women basic civil rights and excluded them from power, erased them through language, passed laws requiring them to wear movement-restricting clothing. What is movement-restricting clothing? Did they make us wear cardboard boxes? I'm going to get into that in a bit. Uninstitutionalized female servitude, theorized female inferiority, all of which accounts to men's metaphorical rape of women. Metaphorical. What the fuck is this? By saying that there is a metaphorical rape, you are taking the meaning of the word rape and erasing it. You are making it meaningless. Because if you are allowed to call something metaphorical rape, it means you don't have an intelligent enough vocabulary to describe what was really done. I call bullshit on that. And all of which creates the circumstances that make physical rape possible. First of all, as I was saying, the restrictive clothing. I'm not saying that there weren't cases where husbands made women cover their whole bodies and not blah 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 blah. But in most modern societies today, if a woman wears a burqa over her face, or if she wears a corset, or if she wears this, or if she wears that, it's not because of what a man tells her. It's because she either wants to, or is part of a lifestyle that she's accepted, that she is part of, and she doesn't mind wearing it. No one's forcing her to wear it because that's not the day and age in which we live. And also, my reaction to this verbally was historically. Are you fucking kidding me? So you're still spitting that shit up. You had those rights and fought for them back when it was equal rights you were fighting for. Now the meaning of the word equal has lost all meaning. Because it has. Now feminists don't want equality. They just want to push men into a corner and kick them while they're down. Feminism is a damn joke, which it is now, and so many women are just using it to throw their weight around and oppress men. I know I don't want to hear it's about time, fucking cunts, because you know what the truth is, it's not about time. If you really know what being oppressed feels like, and you understand that your entire gender was oppressed, why would you want to make another gender go through that? Why would that seem right to you in any part of your brain? It's not, two wrongs don't make a right, basically. And that is acceptable terminology in any form of life where there is right and wrong being done. Any part of life. Two wrongs don't make a right. And the next part of this went on to say, most men don't physically rape. If they did, the social machinery behind rape might collapse. If most men raped, women might no longer trust men. Women might find little reason to collaborate with a man's sexism. They might identify men as their enemy. And they might fight back against men effectively and with purpose. Well, here's the thing. Here was my reply. Most men don't rape, but we're or women are taught to expect it from them. We're poisoned to believe every man is going to molest, rape, or violate us, and even once they have proven to be trustworthy, we're taught to doubt them and believe that they would cheat on us in a relationship, or that we are just an object to them. This makes men think that they should just behave that way because no matter what, we'll think that. We just cause a harmful cycle no matter what. Neither cycle is good for society. So all in all, men are viewed as an enemy and a danger to women, and not to be trusted by women. Around daughters, sisters, nieces, aunts, and wives. Tell me more about how men are the ones doing the oppressing. Stop spreading your ignorance. Stop saying that one thing is okay and another isn't just because it's one gender and not the other. Isn't that what we were trying to avoid here? Now, I made a video about how feminism is playing the victim. After, how women who are part of the feminism movement say, we're not going to take it anymore, we're going to have equal rights, and blah, 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 but then they sit around and play the victim. And this is the sort of shit I'm talking about, but I'm pulling it apart to a different level and exposing why it's wrong. The next part of this says, most men do not want to rape, but most men want to keep the rape system in place. Regulated and functional, natural selection, which is based on competition among males, does not cause men to cooperate with one another to oppress women as a class. Natural selection does not cause men to regulate violence against women and institutionalize male supremacy. Rather, men build and participate in the rape system because of what it gives them, class power over women, which is bullshit because it does not. It makes men look like evil, sadistic creatures when in reality men are not the only ones who can rape, and women are not the only ones who can and have been raped. So, that's a little horseshit right there. Including sexual access to women, constant assurance that they are superior to women, and a violence-based social context that allows for the sexual domination and possession of women they love. And I said, most men hate rapists just as much as you do. Most men want to see them punished. Most men wish it didn't exist so that they didn't have to worry about being accused of it after a one-night stand, that a woman decided she regretted. Men don't want to keep you from getting the same pay as them in the same job. And I'm kind of trailing off into another point, but that is another thing that's been pointed out. But you shouldn't take more breaks or get more days off or complain to your boss. You shouldn't get the same pay for a job if you haven't been doing the job for the same amount of time. Does that only make sense to me? And I brought that up because, yeah, that had really nothing to do with this, but they mentioned the class power over women. When somebody rapes somebody, it doesn't even have anything to do with the gender of the person they rape necessarily. Because, like they always say, rape is about power, and it's not only men raping women. There are men raping men. There are women raping men. There are women raping women. That is, after all, how people get dominated in prison. Sadly, it's a prisoner will rape another prisoner to prove that they are in charge, that they are the head honcho in the prison. As much as it is made a comedic thing in movies or a non-serious issue in movies, it is a serious issue. But that is what rape really is. It's about having power over someone, and it's not even. And what they're making this all about is the only reason that rape exists, supposedly, is so that men can believe that they are superior to women. But the only reason feminism exists is so that women can believe they are superior to men. And that is wrong. Also, I'm sick of hearing the same statistics repeated in every video and every post and everything, and I'm sick of seeing people bring up old arguments. I'm sick of seeing past events being pushed to the front because they don't. I'm not saying they don't matter, but most of this stuff has been fought for, and either been ignored or will continue to be ignored because it doesn't really matter, such as the being forced to wear certain clothing. And I'm not saying that it didn't matter back then. I'm not saying that back then women weren't forced to wear certain things, because they were. But nowadays, if a woman wears something and takes part in a religious dress, it's because she chooses to, and she has the ability to end that if she wants to. She just doesn't. I'm not saying there aren't cases where if a woman took her veil off, a man would come along and kill her. But in most cases, it's because a woman chooses to be part of whatever lifestyle requires that dress. But, and that's one of the issues that's more minimal, isn't important. One of the only real issue I can see feminism solving is, well, nothing. Honestly, there are more important things. There are so many more important things. I was a feminist for a little period of time, but then I started to see the bullshit that it really was. That 90% of the feminists that claim to be feminists are just keyboard warriors sitting on a MacBook Pro that daddy paid for, sipping a Starbucks that mommy paid for, bitching about how unfair life is, when if their life was any more fair, they would have won the lottery at age 1. Because somebody stole their identity and bought a ticket. And they would have rights to the money, somehow. And have everything handed to them even more, other than their parents being rich. Personally, I have nothing against people who own Macs. I have nothing against people who drink Starbucks. And I have nothing against people who win the lottery or have money from a young age. But when that system makes you feel superior to other people and makes you talk about things that you don't even really know about or understand, you should shut up. But honestly, just if you really want, a more comical, less serious view on this, just go watch my video. I used to be a feminist, now I just support equality. Goodbye.